Well, hello and welcome to the post-match show of the today's IPL match, RR versus CSK, and CSK had to accept the defeat. But again, a last ball decider game. We have been seeing these last ball games for the last few days, and Shubhan is wearing a RR jersey. Why Shubhan? But Radhavan sir, coming to you again, a nail-biting last over. But talk to me about Sandeep Sharma's last over and how good composure he has shown with Mahendra Singh Dhoni. 5 runs required from one ball, a great Yorker. Talk to me about Sandeep Sharma's last over.
I think he was brilliant, especially after bowling two wides. All the nerves seem to be seen only on Sandeep Sharma and nobody else. Two wides to begin with, and then Dhoni slammed him for those two sixes on the leg side. And you couldn't have faulted him for being very tense, for being wound up. But Sandeep Sharma found three very good deliveries, two to Dhoni and one to Ravindra Jadeja. I think he will remember that for a long time. It could have been so easy, game of inches. Had he faltered with that last ball Yorker to Dhoni, he might have been remembered for the wrong reasons. But it turned out to be a terrific over in the end. Had four dot balls apart from those two sixes and two wides. He had four dot balls, not really dot balls, but four balls where he conceded only 3 runs. I think it was a terrific effort from Sandeep Sharma. Value for money for Rajasthan for having pulled him out of the wilderness and having played him in this game. I think it did well. But I think the credit really goes to the three spinners, Ashwin, Zampa, and Chahal, for applying the brakes on the Chennai Super Kings chase. I think the spinners get a lot of credit. But in the end, of course, all of us will remember what Sandeep Sharma did in that last over.
Exactly. Shubhan, on the same note, the commentators have been talking about that Rinku Singh knock for quite a long time. I was listening to the commentary. They were saying who could be the Rinku Sharma for today, and that knock is still in our minds, and that was in Sandeep Sharma's mind also. He might have been thinking that pressure was there. Talk to me about it before we go on to the other point.
Yeah, it's never easy. Although we nowadays talk about that 20 is chaseable, but still, even though MS Dhoni or Ravindra Jadeja is batting, whoever is batting, it is tough. It is tough to nail those at least two sixes to get back into the game. Rinku Singh did something which I don't think we will see for a long time. Five sixes on the trot in the last over. I don't think we have seen anything like this in the past, and I don't think we'll see anything like this at least for the foreseeable future. But commentators, their job is to hype and entertain and keep the fans hooked to the televisions or mobile sets, whatever wherever they are watching, and that is why they keep on taking us back to those moments which are relatable, which many people have seen, and which many people can easily connect to. Not only Sandeep Sharma, I think Nicholas Puran also played a blinder of a knock in the last game. So yeah, these comparisons, unless and until someone hits at least four sixes in the last over, I think the comparisons or at least that thing will keep cropping up.
Yes, absolutely. And I was hoping that vintage Jadeja Dhoni partnership will finish up the game. I was hoping for that, but we did not see it. But Rajaram sir, coming
This
to
match kept me this match kept me taking back to the 2019 World Cup semi-final. Dhoni and Jadeja were only playing before Dhoni got out. After that, Martin Guptill throw in, and I was just thinking this was the same pair. Things could have been different, and yeah, but kudos
So I
to
think
Sandeep.
I think today Dhoni was not 100% between
Yeah.
the wickets. See, we've always remembered Dhoni for being the smartest between the wickets.
Hmm.
As a runner, I think was fabulous. But today he kept denying those twos that Jadeja wanted,
Hmm.
and that could have made some difference. I don't think we'll have to be very charitable to Dhoni. He did play a superlative knock, but the
Right.
singles that he didn't take, or the second run that he refused many times, I think that would have bitten Chennai Super Kings a little bit. But I'm not sure if it was 100%. He didn't look like he was the fastest between the wicket today, and I think that could have made a slight difference in the end.
I even thought.
He has had a dodgy right knee. He has had a dodgy right knee since the start of IPL. Even during the practice warm up matches, there were some reporters who were attending those, and they were tweeting that Dhoni is not taking those runs frequently. He's constantly touching his right knee and looks slightly in discomfort. So I think maybe that is the reason that Dhoni is maybe thinking about prolonging the longevity for the entire season rather than going full throttle in this match.
Okay. Well, Rajaram sir, coming to you, Sanju Samson's poor form against CSK continues. What's your thought on that?
Well, I think this is the nature of the beast. We have seen Surya Kumar Yadav lose his wickets often, but I think Sanju Samson got a screamer. I think he got a beautiful delivery and got out to that. But I don't think it's going to work too hard on him. I was pretty impressed with how he led the side. He was very calm. He was mature. He did not throw tantrums from behind the stumps. He didn't. He encouraged his bowlers all the time. I think his captaincy is very impressive, and I think it's one of the highlights of the game for me today. For his ability to keep things under control and the way he rotated his bowlers. There was a stage where the spinners were getting on top of Ajinkya Rahane and Devon Conway, but he got a fast bowler in the 11th over, and he got rewarded. There were just a couple of runs in that over, so he kept altering the pace. He didn't allow the batsman to settle down to a similar pace. I think he rotated the bowlers really well, and unlike Chennai Super Kings, which dropped so many catches today, Rajasthan Royals catching was stupendous. I think they took some amazing catches, and that really was the difference. I think the captaincy. Sanju will not be so worried about his own form at the moment because the team is doing well and he's leading the side really well. He has the respect of the players, and I think that is all that counts in the end.
Also, Raja sir, I think Sanju Samson's captaincy note, it was a very shrewd move to give the last over to Sandeep Sharma. They had the option of Kuldeep Sen, who bowled brilliantly in whatever overs he bowled today. They had that option, but Kuldeep is a quicker bowler. He bowls 145, 150, and sometimes at that pace you might miss your Yorkers, and that can turn into a full toss at that pace. Sandeep Sharma 120s, it is easier to nail those accurate Yorkers. I think that was a good move, which I felt was
Also,
very thoughtful.
Also, I think Sandeep Sharma's experience of bowling in the
Ah,
death. He's handled this situation so many times for different teams.
you're right.
He's outstanding with the ball in the death, and so
Hmm.
he was trusted, I think. And any captain would have lost his cool a little bit when two sixes were given to not given, but Dhoni pinched those two sixes on the leg side in that final over. But Sanju did really well to walk up to Sandeep Sharma, calm him down a little bit, and then he was rewarded with those three singles only in the end, rather than any boundary. I think those three deliveries were the result of good captaincy of a mature captain walking from behind the stumps all the way across to the bowler's top of his run up, and then convincing him that he's capable of nailing three Yorkers. And I think Sandeep did really well in the end.
Okay. Shubhan, coming to you, Ravi Ashwin promoted in the batting order, then getting some runs, 2 wickets. Your thoughts on Ravi Ashwin and the spinners as a whole for Rajasthan?
Oh, Ravichandran Ashwin, local boy, he knows this Chepauk stadium like no other player. And he, as a bowler, he was fantastic. I think this was one of the most beautiful spells by Ravichandran Ashwin in his entire IPL career. I've seen quite a few matches where he has dominated with the ball, but today, although he picked up only 2 wickets if I'm not wrong, but his control, his variations, the way he was bowling to a well settled pair in Devon Conway and Ajinkya Rahane, that was amazing, and that's why Ashwin is a legendary cricketer in India. And with the bat, I think we saw Rajasthan Royals promoting him at number 5 last season, once or twice. And I had written in my preview that Ashwin's batting form for the Indian Test team has also leveled up quite a few notches, and that is why I think Rajasthan Royals have promoted him like the way they have done in this season. Opener in one of the matches now, again at the top of the order. And I think they will keep on doing this because they trust Ashwin's hitting capability. And it's like a free wicket. You have a good depth in the batting unit. If Ashwin can give you, can smack a few balls, then nothing like that. It will give that much needed impetus in the middle overs.
Exactly. Raja sir, coming to you on the same note, Ravichandran Ashwin's performance and as a whole, the spinners. You talked about Chahal, so please talk about the spinners.
I think he was outstanding with the ball. The way he got Ajinkya Rahane, who was batting really well, and then the way he conjured a wicket of Shivam Dube. Perhaps Shivam could have asked for a review. With the benefit of hindsight, all of us can say that he should have asked for a review. But I think the class of Ashwin is such that Shivam Dube did not even consider for a moment asking for a review. Nor did Devon Conway
Right.
convince him from the other end that he should have attempted that. I think he knew that he was out, and so he kind of walked when the umpire raised his hand. To my mind, Ashwin today was a masterclass, uh, a track that he perhaps knows well, uh, better than any other bowler in this whole tournament. Unfortunately for Chennai Super Kings, he was on the opposite side today. Had smacked those two sixes to get the 30 runs that he did in quick time. But when it came to bowling, I think he was a masterclass today, and that would have lifted up Adam Zampa and Yuzvendra Chahal as well, the two leg spinners on a track that did not offer them too much help. I don't think it is a spinning track because if you have had 170 runs being scored by either side, you by no stretch of imagination can it be talked of as a spinning pitch. On a track like that, where batsmen have scored a few runs, of course the track was sluggish. Stroke play was not easy, especially after the first 10 overs in the game. But to be bowling so well, I think Ashwin takes the cake. He has to be the highlight of his bowling today. Was a standout performance. I don't know if he get the man of the match award or any of those awards that they hand out these days, but he really earned a couple of wickets for the side and then ensured that Rajasthan Royals would go home with 2 points from Chennai.
Exactly. And Shubhan, I was going to ask you about Josh Butler, but as we are talking about the bowlers, let's talk about Vinder Jadeja's performance. He has also done a great job, 4 overs, 21 runs, I think, and 2 wickets, and a good spell. What do you think about Jadeja's spell?
Jadeja, he has been the backbone of the CSK spin attack for long now. I think alongside Jadeja, there have been many spinners who have played a couple of seasons and gone out of the squad. But Jadeja remains that backbone who can, especially in such tracks where the ball is gripping a bit. There's a bit of an uneven bounce. Jadeja is deadly. Similar to what Akshar Patel also does, although Akshar's variation is something different. But Jadeja with his flatter trajectory, if the ball is turning, the batters don't know which ball is turning because Jadeja generally he doesn't bowl to spin. He doesn't bowl to turn the ball. He bowls. He's consistent with his line and length, and if a single or delivery turns there, then the batsman is in big trouble because he's playing for the straighter one. And we saw what uh, the Jadeja and Akshar Patel did to England when they came. It was similar. They were playing for the straighter deliveries, but the ball was turning here and there, and they were getting out. So that is a quality which not many bowlers have. Mitchell Santner is another example who is very flat, very quick of the air, and even if the ball is if there's a bit of hold, bit of grip on the pitch, which Chepauk track generally gives for the spinner, then Jadeja is an absolute nightmare. Plus his batting, I would have expected a couple of more hits from him. Uh, Although he played a good knock, 25 or 15, but 30 or 15 would have been a big difference. But as Raja Raman sir said, that hindsight is something which gives us a major advantage. But a quality player, we discussed about him in the pre-match show as well. That he's right now. I think he's the best all rounder in the world across formats.
Raja
His
sir,
2 for 21, Rohan, is 2 for 21.
for 21.
Convinced anybody who was watching the game that Rajasthan Royals would bring in Adam Zampa. He was not in the original squad of 11. He was brought in as an impact player. And we knew then that they would use 12 overs of spin. Ashwin
Right.
Yuzvendra Chahal, and Zampa, and we got to see 12 very, very good quality overs. They did go for a few runs, especially Zampa, but I think this 12 overs will stay etched in the mind for some time because this was high quality, really world class spin bowling that we were getting to see against a good batting lineup. It's not a bad batting lineup at all. It was a good batting lineup. Unfortunately for Chennai, the impact player that they tried fell very quickly. Ambati Raidu, he fell pretty quickly, and they were going off on a slide. And it is to the credit of Dhoni and Jadeja that they seem to have made a match of it until, of course, Sandeep Sharma produced those three wonderful deliveries in the end.
And this is what MS Dhoni says in the post-match presentation as well, that there wasn't much for the spinners, but the experience of Rajasthan Royals spinners did the ultimate damage, and that is why experience is something which nobody can buy.
So it was
Exactly.
the outstanding quality of spin bowling. See,
Right.
if you take away the two color T-shirt that you guys are wearing, uh, and if they were wearing whites, it would have been test quality bowling that we saw from these three spinners. I think that
100%.
is what makes this match memorable. We have seen some fantastic finishes, but for me, an old-fashioned bloke, the exhibition of spin bowling by the three Rajasthan Royal spinners, especially after we
Hmm.
saw Ravindra Jadeja bowl his four overs really well. I think this exhibition of spin bowling was quite the highlight. If there is some way you can give a man of the match to the three of them, they would deserve to get it because they were the difference between how Rajasthan Royals innings went and how the Chennai Super Kings chase came on. I think they really held the key. They knew that they had to bowl 12 very good overs and they delivered for their side.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
but
not
with there being thousand post match awards nowadays in IPL, I am pretty sure either of them will get something out of all those awards.
yesterday,
But
Abhishek was
I think as a teamwork, the three spinners,
yeah.
um, some of us old timers would have been going back to the 70s when India played three spinners in test matches. Or some of the younger ones would have been talking about Anil Kumble, Rajesh Chauhan, and Venkatpati Raju. You would see uh, three spin bowlers much of the time in India in the 90s, especially with Wadekar and Azharuddin in charge of
Hmm.
the team. Uh, but this was outstanding. To be doing this with a wet ball, to be doing this on a track that did
Hmm.
not really offer them so much support, I think it was outstanding spin bowling that we were getting to see tonight.
And not only
Completely.
this, but throughout the season so far, we have seen the spinners doing a great job. And before we end, let's talk about one more player who has been kind of phenomenal so far. Looking for another orange cap, George Butler. Rather, sir, your thoughts on George Butler? He is in super form.
I think even Yuzvendra Chahal has now the purple cap, if I'm not wrong. He had eight. He's 10 now. I think the highest is 11. So there's a purple cap battle also going on. Yuzvendra Chahal wants it. Josh Butler. I think the way he's batting again in this IPL, I think he will be in contention to get that orange cap. And Josh Butler, I mean, the best part about Josh Butler is he doesn't, although his lap shot is extremely famous, the ramp he plays, most of the hits come down the ground in the V. Even if it's a flat bat six, it will go to the long on boundary. It will travel to the long off boundary. He doesn't like to play. He plays fancy shots. That's what the modern day T20 cricket is all about. But most of his hits are the straighter ones. If you give him a fuller ball, he will hit you down the ground, down territory. If there is a Yorker, a good Yorker, then the George Butler of the modern era will come in with a ramp shot or a paddle sweep or something like that. But greatest quality about good batters, be it a Virat Kohli, be it nowadays a Shubman Gill, they play the traditional shots. They play the traditional shots, and that's how they dominate the bowlers. And when the bowler is trying to bowl those, Yorkers and wide Yorkers, that is where their innovation comes in. So proper T20, proper all format cricketer, George Butler.
Absolutely. Rather, sir, thoughts on George Butler?
I think his batting told us today that this is not the best batting track.
Right.
He's not, he was not able to really hit turbocharge, not the sixth gear straight away. but I think he
Hmm.
played well within himself. He kind of understood the track was not really going to offer high quality stroke play, but in those first few overs where the pitch was fresh, he was able to make the most of it. I think he
Hmm.
was again. If you sit back and analyze the game, you know that his innings was critical, but
Hmm.
there were lots of useful contributions. Devdutt Padikkal came up with a nice
Hmm.
knock. There
Yep.
was a good contribution from Ashwin, and then Shimron Hetmeyer, of course,
Simran Hitman. Yeah.
he was outstanding in the end. So overall, it was a good batting effort, despite Jadeja's 4 overs. It was a good
Hmm.
batting effort with Joss Butler leading the way. Uh, he perhaps sensed the fact that the pitch was going to lose some of the freshness and then slow down a little bit. And I think he was outstanding in assessing it and ensuring that everybody batted around him as long as he was around. I think his partnership with Devdutt Padikkal was critical. They ensured that power play was negotiated with the loss of just one wicket, and I think that was important because they could bat really deep, and each of them chipped in. You can
Yeah.
criticize Ashwin coming in at number 5, but in the end, it turned out to be a good decision, allowing Shimron Hetmeyer to come in. In fact, they were even able to use Adam Zampa's batting as an impact player early on. I
Hmm.
mean, who would have expected that to happen? But they wanted some quick runs in the end, and they were able to manage that as well. But credit really to Josh Butler for playing the knocks that he did.
And
Raja sir, my question to you is Rajasthan Royals number 4 slot a curse? Is it a curse? Because they promoted Devdutt, he scored runs. Sanju came down and he got a duck today. Is there some curse around that number 4 slot?
No, Shubhayan, we can keep talking about it, but if the players start believing that, then there is no end to it. I know at least one IPL team which keeps some mirrors in the opposition's dressing
Ah,
room
I know.
and all of that. But that team can also lose, and it might have a fabulous record at home, but they can end up losing, as we have seen very recently. So some of these things, superstitions, work in the game, but the best thing is to go out and play that one ball at a time and then try and dominate that one ball. Whether you're bowling or whether you're batting, just focus on that one delivery and take the other thoughts away. Look at how Jadeja and Dhoni chased down the score. They got oh so close with those flurry of sixes in the last couple of overs. But it is all about belief, Shubhain. And I think players believe in themselves. They express themselves fearlessly these days, and then give great entertainment to the fans. Only thing is, you won't remember what happened the night before when you have so much excitement. Rinku Singh, yes, we will remember that, but we will quickly forget who the bowler was, what kind of shots were played by Rinku Singh to get those 30 runs in that last 5 balls. The pace of action is so much that you tend to remember only the best, absolutely the best. And I think tonight it will be about remembering the three spin bowlers coming and
Okay.
delivering those 12 quality overs.
And
Absolutely.
Raja sir, one day I would love to have a chat on the superstitions that you were talking about. These players and the superstitions is a fantastic story,
There's
and
a
I am
fran- there's a franchisee Rohan which believes in what you call that in English. I'm forgetting. Like they are superstitious. They bring in their pandits. They have all their pujas and they decide. They actually decide their playing 11 and the order according to what their pandit is giving them. So there's some crazy stories. Sachin Tendulkar, I think, wore his left pad almost every time throughout his career.
No, people have
So
these
yeah,
false superstitions,
yeah,
and I think you have to give it to them. But at the end of the day, it is about how they go out and perform, how they bring their skills to the fore, use some of the natural talent at their disposal to give entertainment to the fans and to help their team secure those victories.
exactly. And Shubhan, I have myself worked in the football industry. I worked in the I League tournament, and I have seen some crazy superstitions things, both from the players and from the coaches. And it's so much interesting. And my grandfather was a football player. He played for East Bengal, and at that time, these things were so much more also. And these are crazy stories. We'll have a conversation on this, and really. I got really charged up when hearing these players and the superstitions. But okay, tomorrow another great game. PBKs versus Gujarat Titans. Gujarat Titans will be looking forward to get back after that Rinku Singh thing happened to them. What do you think? What do you expect from tomorrow's game before we end, Shubhan? And then
Uh, they would want to get beyond that Rinku Singh madness, but they are facing a quality Punjab side who are flying right now with 2 out of 2 wins. I think this is after 20 in the 21 season. I think PBK started with 2 wins on the trot. So Shikhar Dhawan, the way he's playing, Prabsimran, the way he's playing, Liam Livingstone is expected to start tomorrow. Kagiso Rabada is available. So expect a full strength Punjab Kings side to come now. They were a couple of players short, couple of key players short before this, but now they have a full strength squad. Shikhar Dhawan's captaincy has been impressive. His batting has been impressive. He's been the glue of that batting unit. So very good match. Very good match on the cards. And hopefully Hardik Pandya is also fit to play tomorrow.
Raja sir, your expectations from the match?
I think it will be a good game. Like I said, we have been treated to a series of good games. Of the 17 or 18 games that have been played so far, 17 games that have been played so far, there's probably been one or two one-sided games. I think fans love that. I think people go to stadiums wanting to see thrilling finishes, and we have been dished out so many such thrilling finishes. I think we can expect one. But I truly hope that someday soon Shubhan's dream of watching a super over comes true.
Not if they're finishing the regulation over in 4.5 hours.
Yeah, not
If
not
they
that.
are if they are maintaining the 3 hour slot, then I'm all for it. I'm all up for it.
But that's not in our control. I can only hope that a super over comes in for you and you are able to have a conversation on super over sooner than later, because
Right.
that is the only thing that has perhaps been missing from this IPL. We haven't seen a super over yet, but it'll be fascinating to see one maybe tomorrow. Who knows?
Exactly. So again, tomorrow we'll be back 9 a.m. morning with the teeing off show, and we'll have the pre-match show from 7 p.m. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining, Raja sir, Shubhan. Good night for today, and
Thank
we'll be
you.
back
Have a good night.
Good night.
Have a
next
good night.